I have no doubt that the best is yet to come for Yes. So let's get into this, dude. Time and a Word. Here we go.
Do you open up your eyes, see what I see? Do you see the same things every day? Do you think of a way to start the day? Getting things in proportion, spread the news and help the world go around. Have you heard of a time that will help us get it together again? Have you heard of the word that will stop us going wrong? Well, the time is near, the word you'll hear when you get things in perspective. Spread the news and help the world go around.
Okay, real quick. This effect on the guitar is really just creating such a dreamlike state, much more so than like the rest of the songs. I'm loving it though. It's really making me think of like the 90s kind of aesthetic with like Soundgarden and all that, you know. This is really cool. I dig this, dude. 1970. All right. Time and a Word. Let's get back into it, friends. Yeah, I just want to tell you all real quick about Patreon. At patreon.com/JohnSlop, you can find full album reactions like Revolver by The Beatles, Fragile by Yes, and even the full-length film of The Beatles, A Hard Day's Night, and much, much more. So go on and think about that, and let's get back to the reaction. Beautiful,
dude. Have you heard of a time that will help us get it together again? Have you heard of the word that will stop us going wrong? Well, the time is near, the word you hear when you get things in perspective. Spread the news and help the world go around. There's a
Ooh, wow. And that's it, dude. Time and a word is over for yes. Wow, we just got to talk about it a bit. Uh, so this song, very, very special. It's very like optimistic, right? The message of the song seems to be just right now is the time, kind of like seize the day, seize the moment. And love is the word. Now I know what time and a word even means contextually. So I'm assuming this is like just all about like the free love movement, just like really trying to spread the love, spread the like awareness amongst people with music. That's the vibe I'm getting. Let's take a look at the lyrics and see what we get. Dude, the swell of horns at the end, that was so beautiful, dude. I loved it. The fade out was beautiful, perfect. And just what a great album overall. We were going to check out the lyrics, dude. Yes, time and a word. In the morning when you rise, do you open up your eyes? See what I see? Do you see the same things every day? Do you think of a way to start the day? Getting things in proportion? Spread the news and help the world go round. So like a direct like message to the reader here. Have you heard of a time that will help us get it together again? Have you heard of the word that will stop us going wrong? Well, that time is near. The word you'll hear. When you get things in perspective, spread the news to help the world go round. There's a time and the time is now, and it's right for me. It's right for me and the time is now. There's a word and the word is love, and it's right for me. It's right for me and the word is love. So yeah, pretty much exactly what it's kind of like more of like a direct, like, hey, listener, spread the word of love. It's more of like a direct connection. There's a time and the time is now, dude. It's pretty much this, dude. What did you think of this? It's a perfect encapsulation of what this whole album just kind of ruminates, dude. Ruminate? What is that? That's not a word. That is not a word. What did I? It glows. It just gives off the aura of love and trying to connect to the listener in very poetic ways. It's all around just very optimistic. Just I feel the essence of their soul connecting to us, dude. John Anderson and everybody else. Let's give a round of applause to everybody who is part of this personnel. We have John Anderson, lead vocals, Peter Banks, electric and acoustic guitars, backing vocals, Chris Squire on bass, Tony Kaye on Hammond organ and piano, and Bill Bruford on drums and percussion, dude. Yeah, shout out to everybody. Did a great job. This was awesome. What did y'all think of this reaction? Let me know down in the comment section. Let me know any like information, dude, that goes along with this album. You know, I can read a little bit of the like background on this album on the wiki here. So, after the release of their debut album, Yes, in July 1969 for Atlantic Records, Yes resumed extensive touring across UK. The lineup of the group at this time included lead vocals John Anderson, guitarist Peter Banks, bassist Chris Squire, drummer Bill Bruford, and organist Tony Kaye. Towards the end of 1969, they booked time at Ad Vision Studios in London during gaps between shows to record Time and a Word. In a November 1969 interview during a tour of Switzerland, Bruford talked about the album, saying Anderson was pouring out new numbers for us to play. Usually he writes a tune and we listen to the tape and take it from there. Interesting. At Advision, Yes, we're joined by producer Tony Colton, a friend of Anderson's who was also the singer of the rock band Heads, Hands, and Feet. I've never heard of them before. Let me know your thoughts on them, dude. Phil Carson, the European managing director of Atlantic and a fan of the band, brought in audio engineer Eddie Offord to assist Colton in the album's production because of his skills and hard work. Offord would become a key figure in the band's history in the 1970s as their producer and live sound mixer. Okay, cool, dude. Well, we know a lot about them so far. Time and a Word was met with yes-style controversy, as described by band biographer and reporter Chris Welch. Banks became the most outspoken member over his issues surrounding the album, which began the strain on his relationship with the rest of the group. He did not support the idea of an orchestra and thought it merely followed what rock bands Deep Purple and The Nice had already done. He argued it merely played parts originally written for the guitar or organ, leaving his active participation on the album a minimum, or his guitar buried into the album's mix. Gotcha. So he wasn't a fan. Okay, interesting. This makes a lot of sense, right? You don't want to like just kind of follow what bands are already doing. You kind of want to do your own thing, right? But it's hard. It must be hard being in the lead, dude. One of the biggest bands of the time, trying to decide what to do next. Let's continue. Banks also disagreed with the decision to have Colton produce the album and claimed that Colton lacked the experience and personally disliked Banks and his playing. Colton's ability was also questioned by Squire, who recalled one incident during the mixing of no opportunity necessary, no experience needed, by which time Banks's replacement Steve Howe had joined and attended. Colton mixed the song using a crappy pair of cans that did not produce bass, rather than using the studio's monitoring equipment. Colton asked for more bass, but Squire and Howe noticed that the bass levels on the monitors were already high. In 1995, Offord said that he too thought Colton had not been the right person to produce the band at that time. Wow, everybody was like so skeptical of Colton. Interesting, dude. Okay, the album's 6 original tracks were accredited to Anderson, with either Squire or David Foster, Anderson's former bandmate in The Warriors. Banks said he made contributions to the writing of the album, but his name was not included in the credits. It didn't bother him at first, but it caused some discontent years later when he missed out on royalties. And that's usually how it goes, dude. Time and a Word marked a development in Anderson's lyric content, who began to move from simple love themes to topics of greater scale, described by band biographer Dan Hedges as life, oneness, and the future. We see a similar movement in like Neil Peart's writing style, right? As he grew older and wiser, so did his lyrical content, dude. So, wow, we learned a lot, dude. I hope everybody enjoyed this little journey we went on, learning a little bit about the background of this album. Interesting. So I can't wait to see how they went forward with this, dude. Can't wait to see how things went on. So very interesting. So again, we have John Anderson, Peter Banks, Chris Squire, Tony Kaye, and Bill Bruford. I'm going to try and remember that moving into the next Yes album, dude. So just thank you all for coming around and checking this out. I really appreciate you.